Day 3 at DreamHack Valencia, the whole tournament is over. This is going to be kind of untraditional because I have both the runner-ups and the winners of the tournament. I mean, let's start up with you, Jordan. Obviously, you didn't have that much time to prepare for TSM specifically in front of the match because you only had like half an hour. Do you think the schedule kind of hinders your ability to adapt? You're obviously very known to be able to adapt to the teams like on the fly, but this time that wasn't basically possible. Do you think that hindered your ability to do that?
Sure. I mean, in many scenarios, you know the team you're playing better. We just haven't had a lot of bouts versus them. I guess the ESL format was kind of cool because you played the semis on Saturday and the final Sunday. It's like huge anti-strat and looking at the other team. Obviously last night we had to look at Fnatic. We couldn't assume that we're just going to beat them, even though we felt we could. We can't assume that, right? So we spent most of our time looking at Fnatic. We know small things about TSM, but we also know that we needed to win cash, and Mirage is tough. As you saw when we beat Fnatic on Mirage, it was more us just kind of knowing where to take the duels and winning them. So, TSM's a tough opponent, and yeah, I think in the future, obviously, we need to study these guys more.
So touching on Mirage a little bit, since it was really one-sided that one. After the Fnatic game, do you even play Mirage? Did you even practice like in between those tournaments?
Not once. We didn't scrim it. We probably haven't scrimmed it since 3 months. And we all know the map Mirage. It's not like I don't know the map, but when like karrigan, you were getting a lot of op picks, and stuff. So if we don't have a good job doing our default and staying away from you, you guys are gonna have advantages, and then you spread us thin and stuff. So yeah, they did a good job. We weren't letting Fnatic do that a lot. And yeah, so if your default and your mid control isn't good as a terrorist, then you need to have another answer, and we just didn't.
All right, basically the same question for you, the first one. Do you think you had an advantage being that on that first semifinal, being able to watch their game against Fnatic, being able to watch their Mirage basically, because that's where you were really confident. Is that the case?
Actually, I had to be honest, I expected the Mirage game to go differently for Fnatic, so I actually started studying Fnatic for the Cobblestone, because we would then ban cash against Fnatic and play Cobblestone, so I was actually preparing that. Then I just saw Cloud9 just wrecking the others. I saw a little, I just looked at both screens, tried to figure out they didn't play so many set goals, so I actually knew we had to play double up directly as the first round, because we just know that Skadul is a big weapon as them, and I saw also that against Fnatic, so coming into the match, we had a head start. I mean, the only thing I really studied was cash, because I knew that was like a weak point. So I actually going back and forth for the counter of Fnatic and Cloud9, but we have to pay attention for Cloud9 especially on cash, because they're playing so differently heavy. They're adapting very fast, which I saw on the POV from ESA, adapting very fast. So that's something I tried to figure out on cash, but it was way harder than I thought.
All right, so seeing as you've just won another event, do you think going into the major in just about a month, do you think that puts you as favorites for the next major?
I mean, major is something different than everything else. There's so big focus on that tournament. You have to bear in mind, we're in this 5 to 8, so we are getting the top seed with either NiP, Virtus Pro, the Envious, and Fnatic. So one of them we will get in the group stage. Playing best of one, everything can happen, especially with the major system where we don't have specific 2-3 matches where we're very good on. We are like a big wide map pool, which we try to train all the time. So basically in the best of one, where there's 3 random maps, we can be unlucky and play like we play against Keystars where we just have off days. So going to the major, I don't see us as favorites, but everything after the group stage, then everything can happen in a best of 3, in my opinion.
All right, kind of the same question to you. Where do you think do you stand after making 3 grand finals in 3 weeks? You obviously still have the qualifier up ahead. You don't really know if you're going to attend yet because you have to qualify first. But still, where do you think you would stand in case you do qualify for the major?
Yeah, as karrigan said, it's one of those events, all the majors where so much focus is put on each team. Since we have to qualify, we're obviously gonna have a tough group. We got to come out strong, and then obviously work on a Mirage so we could deepen our match pool a little bit. I mean, our Inferno we should probably work on as well, since it's really only our T side, which is kind of bad. But lately we've just got confidence to be able to beat most teams. But every team kind of brings a different battle, whether it's TSM to Virtus Pro. Even though Virtus Pro got crushed, those guys are good teammates, and they're not someone who's just going to keel over unless one of them wants to retire or something. But as long as those guys are in the tournament, they're a threat. Obviously Fnatic, what it really depends on the mindset of all these teams. NIP, everyone counts NIP out. Well, if they just decide to get a little positivity and work hard, they can come out blazing too. So we just got to stay humble and prepare as best we can.
So what are you going to do in the next month in front of the major? Obviously the qualifier, and then
we have SIVO MLG, and then we'll probably come to Germany like a week early.
All right.
At least, yeah.
Okay, same thing with you. What's the plan for the next month to prepare for the major?
Well, as always, we are going for vacation. I mean, we planned to have 1 week off because for this tournament, Shubit was just gone. It was something like his family, I think they got married for 25 years, something like that. So there was like a vacation there. And then everybody said, let's just make 1 week where we just don't touch CS at all. In that week, I would probably study some more teams because for the major, you need to prepare of any map. You have to have 5 map pool against every enemy to start preparing, figuring some new things because I can feel it in the same way as Cloud9. When I start calling a cache, it's hard to come up with something adaptive when everything is not practiced in, stuff like that. So I have to figure out new things. Then we're going directly to Asia Brother Masters, a small tournament with Dignitas Hellraiser. We should be able to win that even without practice. And then we are going to the major. That's how it looks like. And maybe we're gonna make a bootcamp for major. We have to see what happens.
All right, guys. Thank you both for the interview. Do you have any last words, shoutouts, closing statements?
I think we both want to thank Logitech. that was one of the.
What do you have in common?
By the way, G2A is a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
But we have so many amazing sponsors who made this possible, and it was actually fun to play against the 2 Logitech sponsors teams. So. High five for that, and then friends and family, of course, and girlfriends, everybody who's supporting me, and of course to the crowd out there. They were really amazing all tournament through, even though they didn't have like a favorite, but they were cheering for everyone.
Same thing for you.
Of course, our sponsors, as you already said, you can go to cloud9.gg/sponsors and read all of our sponsors there. Friends and family, all my girlfriends. I want to shout out to all them. And
how many do you have?
Friends, yeah, that's the number we shouldn't talk about. I'm kidding. Anyways, yeah, thanks for the interview. HLTV.org.
Thanks to n0thing for amazing interview.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you guys both. So that was the last piece of our coverage from DreamHack Valencia FACEIT Stage 2 Finals. Still stay tuned to HLTV.org as we'll still bring out some gallery stats, stuff like that, as always, guys.